अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज है जुलाई की 5 तारीख है। हारिस खान एच के लाइन्स 96। और आज के हमारे जो मेहमान हैं वो स्पेशल हैं इस वजह से कि वो ही इज अ फॉर्मर फॉर्मर नेवल ऑफिसर। हर चीज के बाद बात हो चुकी है, आर्मी एयरफोर्स के ऊपर काफी बात हो चुकी है पिछले महीने डेढ़ में। तो मैंने सोचा कि आप लोगों ने भी बहुत इंसिस्ट किया था कि किसी एक्सपर्ट को लेके आए, तो मैंने सोचा कि ये नेवल ऑफिसर हैं, फॉर्मर नेवल ऑफिसर है, मैं इनको लेके आऊं। इनका बहुत कड़ी नजर है इनको पाकिस्तान नेवी पर, पहले भी और अभी भी। तो मैं इनका तारुफ करता हूं। इनका नाम है राशिद। ये मेरे बहुत पुराने दोस्त भी हैं। इसका ये मतलब नहीं है मैंने इनको अभी पकड़ा है, ये बहुत पुराने दोस्त भी हैं। तो राशिद, अस्सलाम वालेकुम और खुश आमदेद।
वालेकुम सलाम हारिस, हाउ आर यू?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, हम डूइंग वेल। अच्छा
नाइस टू मीट
राशिद,
यू।
आज तो शुरू करते हैं। थोड़ी सी आप पाकिस्तान नेवी की तारीख बताएं कि किस तरह नेवी शुरू हुई, क्या क्या मुश्किलें आई और किधर तक चल के ये अभी जो है। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप 2007-8 तक ना लेके आए नेवी को। 71 की जंग के बारे में भी बताएं, क्या शॉर्ट कमिंग्स वगैरह थी, किसने शॉर्ट कमिंग्स की और क्यों हो गई थी शॉर्ट कमिंग्स, खास तौर पर 71 की जंग पर। तो द फ्लोर इज योर्स।
अच्छा, कमिंग टू द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द नेवी। देखिए, पाकिस्तान एवरीबडी नोज गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस इन 1947। 47 के बाद जो ब्रिटिश ने डिवीजन किया कि इक्वल डिवीजन उन्होंने करना था, बट उन्होंने किया नहीं। सम कॉम्बैट यूनिट्स वर टू बी ट्रांसफर्ड टू पाकिस्तान एंड मोर वर केप्ट विद द इंडियंस। तो एक तो डिवीजन फेयर नहीं हुई। वी वर गिवन वेरी basic vessels. They did not have any major or even minor fighting capability. But that was it, because we didn't have a setup of our own. It was the Royal Indian Navy for independence, which was being controlled by the British. So after independence, we were allocated uh, very minor sort of vessels, which were just by name naval vessels. And gradually and slowly and gradually, we started to build up the Navy. The first chief was a British officer, everybody knows, Admiral Shepherd. Then onwards, the first Pakistani naval officer who became the chief of the naval staff was Admiral Chaudhry. And from then onwards, we started to go into the actual combat part of the Navy. और उस वक्त बहुत अच्छी सोच थी लोगों की। The start of the Navy was pretty good, and very early on, they decided to induct submarines in the Pakistan Navy, and that was a very good decision. In 1962, we decided to induct submarines, and in 1964, we had the first submarine, PNS Ghazi, which was a US origin submarine, which we acquired, and hence our submarine surface started. And that was very crucial in the times to come. Because when you start such a surface, which requires a lot of expertise, which requires a lot of experience, which requires you know, operational plans to be made, trainings. It's very submarine service is a very, I would say, a very specialized sort of a force, and we got on board very early. And because of this one submarine in 1965 war with India, we stationed that submarine somewhere outside Bombay. And because of that submarine, the Indian Navy was controlled. They did not move any major vessels outside the Bombay harbor, which was the main harbor at that time. And that's how effective it was. And the decision which was made earlier on by the leadership of the Navy was very important. And similarly, when we come to the 1971, by 1971, we had additional 4 submarines. the French Daphnes, which were again brand new submarines, diesel electric at that time. And they were very important. They were small, modern submarines as compared to the American which we had. And in 71, we had the first submarine kill, which was INS Kukri, which was also, I think, after Second World War, the only ship sunk by a submarine. And luckily, the commanding officer of that submarine, Admiral Ahmed Tasneem, he's still alive. And the new submarines which are coming in, the Navy, they're named after, one of them is named after him also. So if we move on, in 71, the major drawback which we had, we did not have any surface-to-surface missile capability. We did not have any surface-to-air missile capability. And we only had old ships, which were British. And they did not have any, I would say, close-in weapon systems at that time. They did not have any safeties with them at that time. So it was a surface fleet which was old. We had the only potent thing which we had in 1971 were the submarines. We did not have any effective potent surface vessels which we lacked. And that is the reason.
Yeah, Rashid, I want to interject कि 60 ये वो कहता म्यूचुअल वो जो पैक्ट साइन किया था अयूब खान ने अमेरिकनों के साथ, तो PN and PAF got this Albatross amphibian aircraft. तो वो सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू करता था, तो उससे थोड़ी बहुत पेट्रोल भी हो जाती थी, तो वो एल्बर्ट्रॉस कहलाता था वो। तो ये मेरे ख्याल से 1963 या 64 में आया था, ये ड्रिग रोड पर बेस था ये। तो सब्सिक्वेंटली जब मैं बस लोग अपने नाजरीन के लिए थोड़ा हिस्टोरिकल बात कर रहा हूँ, सब्सिक्वेंटली 65 के बाद इसको विड्रॉ कर लिया था एयरफोर्स ने कि उनके पास स्पेयर पार्ट्स वगैरह नहीं थे, ऐसे एम्बार्गोज लगे थे। लेकिन उसकी वजह से एक बहुत बड़ा गैप आ गया था कि नेवी के पास किमाड़ी वगैरह की प्रॉक्सिमिटी के पास नेवल क्या कह लेंगे, इट वाज नेवल सर्च जो थी वो खत्म हो गई थी। इसी वजह से वो इंडियंस ने आके फिर वो कराची किमाड़ी के ऊपर उन्होंने आके मिसाइल।
इसी पे आई वाज कमिंग टू दिस बिकॉज ऑफ द लैक ऑफ aerial reconnaissance capability.
जी,
we did not have any naval aviation at that time also. वो मैंने कहा ना, the only potent platform which we had in 1971 were the submarines.
जी हाँ,
that is it. We did not have a effective potent surface capability. Neither we had aerial reconnaissance capability because aviation was not born, and we were dependent on the PAF for air support. But PAF had their own commitments to safeguard Karachi complex and all the other vital points in and around Karachi, because their primary role is to act as the defense of the air defense.
सही। ये अगर आप पीछे किताब देख रहे हैं ना, ये इधर ये पीछे किताब देख रहे हैं, ये 2012 की है। ये यूएस नेवी, मैं इसका पहले मेंबर होता था यूएस नेवल इंस्टीट्यूट का। तो इन्होंने ये किताब मैंने खासतौर पर उनसे इस वजह से मंगवाई थी कि इसके अंदर पाकिस्तान नेवी के उन्होंने जिसको कहते हैं ना अनफिल्टर्ड, उन्होंने इसके ऊपर वो की हुई है, हिस्टोरिकल फैक्ट दिया। और इसके अंदर एक उन्होंने अहम बात लिखी है जो मैं अपने नाजरीन को भी बताना शुरू किया कि वो जो म्यूचुअल असिस्टेंट प्रोग्राम जो था, जो खत्म हो गया था 1964 में अमेरिका और पाकिस्तान के दरमियान 65 की जंग की वजह से। तो ये पाकिस्तान नेवी ने जाके उन जमानों में P3As की इवेल्युएशन की थी यहाँ जैक्सनविल के अंदर, एंड दे लाइक्ड इट। उन्होंने कहा था कि हम आपसे 3 ले लेंगे। तो देयर वाज नो असिस्टेंट प्रोग्राम, तो वो ले नहीं सके। 3 थे P3As थे अल्फा, तो वो ले नहीं सके। और वो जाके पाकिस्तान नेवी ने जाके जब डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री को बताया कि हमको ये 3 लेने, उन्होंने कहा हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है। और जब वो क्या डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन होती है जो बजट लेके आती है, उसके पास लेके गए तो वो मेजर जनरल्स वगैरह ने दे लेफ्ट एट पाकिस्तान नेवी, उन्होंने कहा आपको ऐसी चीजों की जरूरत ही नहीं। तो बाद में पता चल गया कि क्या जनाब, कह रही हूँ, सॉरी सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट।
Because of this reason, though, the very famous missile attack on Karachi was carried out.
जी हाँ।
ठीक है, वो everybody knows about that history, and even a ship, a merchant ship, was identified of carrying OSA class missile boats, which were being transported from India towards Karachi on board a merchant ship. Because उस वक्त missile boats की इतनी रेंज नहीं होती थी कि they couldn't, sail from India to Karachi and back. So they were
वो
transported on a,
खाटियाबाड़ उनका बेस था या क्या बेस था वहाँ
नहीं,
इंडिया?
उनका बॉम्बे ही यूज करते थे वो.
अच्छा।
But even then, missile boats had a very small range
जी
because
हाँ।
of the size of the missiles. They were OSA, the Russian boats. One of our aircraft, a civilian aircraft, in fact, he was an ex-Air Force pilot. He saw those ships. He saw something big was being carried on them. He reported to the naval air headquarters. They reported to naval headquarters. We sent an observer on an aircraft which was flown by the PAF. He identified that this ship is carrying missile boats. They were not even covered.
अच्छा।
And then when he reported back, but nothing happened because we didn't have any defense against missiles. And we never expected the Indians would actually come so close and fire their missiles. The range of those missiles was almost, I think, 30 nautical miles, not much, but they managed to launch a couple of missiles which struck our oil tanks at
टुकड़ी,
Kemari.
यहाँ की माड़ी।
And everybody knows about that.
हम्म।
But after 71, we learned our lesson, and there were some very good officers who actually recommended that we should strengthen our surface fleet, and we should have a naval aviation. And as you earlier mentioned, that the Navy worked on the P3As, but somehow we did not go through with them because of lack of funds. But in the mid-70s, we managed to get the Atlantic aircraft. And I think it was a very good decision because Atlantic aircraft was basically an aircraft which was designed from the board as a long-range maritime patrol aircraft. The P3s are not designed as LRMPs. The Atlantic was from the design board. It was designed as a LRMP, and we flew that aircraft for more than 50 years. So we got the best out of them. We bought the Atlantics in the mid-70s, and we got the Seeking helicopters, which were the best naval maritime helicopters of that time. And for your information, we're still flying them. They were very potent. And Pakistan Navy, I would like to add something. Pakistan Navy was the one who initiated to install the AIM-39 exocet missiles on these Seeking helicopters.
वो
Which
अटलांटिक
was,
के ऊपर भी इंस्टॉल किए हुए थे या नहीं?
yes, after that,
अच्छा।
first they were installed on the Seekings, and then later they were also installed on the Atlantics, the AIM-39s. And this was basically the Pakistan Navy recommendation. And Westland helped us install these aircraft, and we actually take the credit for it because no other Navy did install these. Afterwards, the Indians also installed the a British version of the missile, but it was not the exocet.
सी ईगल
And
मेरे ख्याल से।
Sea Eagle, yes.
हम्म।
And till date, we fly these Seeking helicopters very effectively. Now we have a lot of them because the Royal Navy Seekings and the Qatari Seekings have also come in. And when we established the naval aviation, that was, I think, a very important factor in reconnaissance of the area. And now jumping to the 80s, we had a plan to indigenize shipbuilding, but somehow the other, because of lack of funds, because lack of local industry, we kept on relying on the old warships. We took the Gearings in the early 80s from the Americans, Then in the 90s, we got the Type 21s from the Royal Navy. And I remember the first brand new warship which was inducted in the Pakistan Navy was PNS Nasser, which was the oil tanker. And it was inducted in 1987.
अच्छा
That was the first brand new 0-meter warship inducted in the Pakistan Navy. And if we move forward,
अच्छा एक
uh,
एक एक आप भूल मैं आपको याद ये अगस्ता 90s जो थी ये कब आई थी 90s भी नहीं 90s जो थी
Augustas uh, were also Augusta 90s.
हाँ जी
Sorry, Augusta 70s
हाँ जी
came in the 70s.
अच्छा
They were also new because you don't buy a used submarine and plan to run it for a long time. We bought the old Ghazi because we didn't have any experience and we wanted to gain experience. But after that, the Daphne and the Augusta, they were brand new.
अगस्ता
Uh,
90s जो आई थी अर्ली 80s के अंदर
yeah, 90s, no, the Augusta 90s, they came in the 90s actually.
तो
Uh,
डॉल्फिन्स जो थी वो अगस्ता 70 थी या 90 थी
no, Daphnes were a separate class and the Augustas were a separate class.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है
Augustas were bigger than the Daphnes.
अच्छा ठीक है
Daphnes were smaller. Augustas were bigger.
अच्छा
We
ठीक
had we had four Daphnes and we had two Augustas, which were Augusta 70s.
हाँ जी अच्छा
We
ठीक
had 6 submarines till we bought the Augusta 90s.
अच्छा ठीक अगस्ता 90s तो 90s में आई थी 90
Yes,
20
they came in the 90s, 90 Bravos, and three came in, and then slowly and gradually we started to decommission the Daphnes because they had done their part in the Navy. But if we come to the Navy now or after 2010, we see a major shift and a major change in technology. Now we have the Type 054 guided missile frigates, which are very effective surface platforms. They're brand new. We had the Type 22 frigates initially, 4 of them, very important platforms, very well equipped. And now we have uh, we have missile platforms which are
मिल्टन
globally built. Yes, Miljam is coming in. 2 Miljams have come. The rest are coming. We have the Province class also. We have the Habit class missile boats also. We have a lot of platforms which are new. And this is the best part that after the 2010s, the Navy convinced the ministry of spending money on brand new warships. Chinese helped us a lot. And then now the Turkish are helping us. And we are building the Jinnah class guided missile frigate locally with the help of the Turkish industries. And that will be a very important platform when it comes in. So as compared to the 65 and 71, the Navy of today is very, very effective. We have very potent surface platforms. We have the very important submarine program which is going on. I won't go into the details, but it's a very, very effective submarine program with the help of the Chinese, the Hangar class, and the Aviation. We have decommissioned the Atlantics, but we have a fleet of P3Cs with
ओरायंस
us, which are very effective. Yeah, Orions, which are very effective. We have the fleet of seeking helicopters. We have Zulu liners, which are also SW seeking as well. We have a very important missile program with the Navy, which are surface-to-surface missiles, which are coastal defense missiles, and which are surface-to-air missiles. And the present shape of the Navy, though small, it's very potent. very
अच्छा,
effective.
एक चीज बताएं अपना राशिद, मैं आपको कर रहा हूं कि ये ओरायंस जो थे ये इन्होंने ऑर्डर किए थे एम्बार्गो से, 1990 के एम्बार्गो से पहले दो ऑर्डर किए थे या तीन ऑर्डर किए थे। मैं वो P3C 2.5 ऑर्डर किए थे उन्होंने, उनको कोई अपग्रेड हुआ हुआ था। तो मेरे ख्याल से एक या दो, एक भी नहीं मिला था, फिर वो 1996 में उन्होंने रिलीज कर दिए थे। कोई मेरे ख्याल से एक दफा मैं PNS मेहरान गया था, तो वो उधर उनकी रिफर्बिशमेंट हो रही थी वहां, वो किसी को जाने भी नहीं दे रहे थे, ये लॉकहीड मार्टिन वाले कर रहे थे। तो उसके बाद इन्होंने 2000 में इन्होंने पता नहीं 5 या 6 7 और ऑर्डर किए थे, तो मिल मिला के 9 हो गए थे। फिर वो एक हादसा हुआ था वहां, पता नहीं उसमें 2 या 3 जो थे वो तबाह हो गए थे। तो ये यानी रिलेटिवली ये ओरायंस जो हैं ये ज्यादा पुराने नहीं है, आई मीन रिफर्बिश्ड
नहीं,
है, नहीं ज्यादा।
हाँ,
तो मेरे मेरे दो सवाल इसके ऊपर, दो सवाल आते हैं। पहले इन्होंने एक फोकर भी होते थे, PMS फोकर्स भी होते थे, वो सप्लीमेंट्स करते थे ये। इन्होंने उनको रिप्लेस किया वो RAS-72 से, वो जो ATRs हैं। अब जो है अ, तो उसके बाद इन्होंने अभी हाल ही में तकरीबन, आप मुझे याद दिलाएं, वो CNS जो थे, जकाउल्ला थे या क्या नाम था उनका, नाम भूल रहा हूँ, जिन्होंने अनाउंस किया था सी सुल्तान के बारे में। तो ये क्यों इनको इतनी जल्दी लग गई है कि ओरायंस को जो रिलेटिवली नए हैं, इनको सी सुल्तान जो एम्ब्रियर 1000 लेगेसी से रिप्लेसमेंट करने की इनको क्यों इतनी जल्दी पड़ गई?
नहीं, इतनी जल्दी नहीं पड़गी, बट देखें, आफ्टर द 98 personal amendment,
जी
we faced a lot of issues regarding the spares
जी
with the Air Force, all American products, with the Air Force and with the Navy. Navy के पास तो इतने ज़्यादा नहीं थे, but P3s are basically US origin, you know that, Lockheed Martin. So they fall under that embargo. इस वजह से we had to add an alternate. But an alternate capable of being equal to the P3C is difficult because P3Cs are specialized. Convert a transport aircraft like the ATR to that level takes a lot of time. आसानी से तो नहीं होता, just installing a radar doesn't matter. तो इसकी वजह से we had these alternate programs. और फिर after induction of the 737 in the Indian Navy,
टाइटन्स या नेपट्यून जो आ
yes,
रहे थे, हाँ।
yes, we had to have an engine aircraft, a jet engine aircraft capable of fulfilling these duties. That's why we inducted the Embraer 1000, and we're in the process of conversion, and so
आपको कुछ पता है कहाँ कन्वर्जन हो रही है उसकी?
नहीं, वो आई कांट से
या-
कि
अच्छा
हाँ
ठीक।
हो रही है और कब तक कंप्लीट हो जाएगी, बट इवेंचुअली दिस इज द प्लान, because P3s will eventually one day be decommissioned. But in the long run, we would like to have the jet engine aircraft, which is more capable of covering a larger area in a lesser time with more endurance. Because these aircraft, they're not fighting aircraft. You don't need them to fight. You only want them to be used as surveillance aircraft, gathering intelligence, surveillance. And the PCs has also served us very well.
ये
You remember?
अभी जो ये सस्पेंशन जो हुई हुई है मिलिट्री एड की US से, तो ये P3 जो है इनके स्पेयर पार्ट्स आ रहे हैं या अभी उन्होंने रोके हुए हैं, यानी दे आर ऑपरेशनल
ये
क्या?
स्पेयर पार्ट्स ये स्पेयर पार्ट्स आ रहे हैं, स्पेयर
अच्छा।
पार्ट तो है, वी स्टिल फ्लाइंग देम. और अगर इफ यू रिमेम्बर अबाउट 3 years बैक वी caught an Indian submarine off the Ormara coast.
जी हाँ।
So they're very capable aircraft. But they're very important also. They have harpoons with them. So they can engage ships even at a very longer ranges. So they're not only surveillance aircraft, they're hunt and kill aircraft also. और फिर हम और एक बहुत बड़ा पर्पस भी utilize these aircrafts are OTHT, which is over the horizon targeting, which in the recent India-Pakistan war, you must have seen our aircraft targeting the IAF aircraft over the horizon, basically. So it's not only the PL-15 which targeted them, it was the aircraft which was controlling them. They were vectored. So vectoring is very important in today's warfare. With missiles with longer ranges, if you have an aircraft capable of vectoring, then this capability you cannot match. So whatever aircraft we bring in now in the naval aviation has to have this vectoring capability.
कि इसको
और
जरा थोड़ा सा इसको इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा इसके ऊपर रोशनी डालें। ये आप वेक्टरिंग कह रहे थे ताकि अवाम उन्नास को पता, मुझे तो पता है क्या है, लेकिन थोड़ा अवाम उन्नास को पता चले जाए कि ये क्या है वेक्टरिंग, क्या क्या क्या
देखिए,
कहलाता
वेक्टरिंग ये होती है कि फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम एन एयरक्राफ्ट व्हिच हैज द वेपन.
है।
My weapon is 100 kilometers range. My radars are also 100 kilometer range. So I can only lock into a target which is 100 kilometers or less. But the target is 200 kilometers or 150 kilometers. I cannot lock it more than my radar ranges. So if a third aircraft which has a longer range, which is a patrol aircraft or a airborne burning and control aircraft, he has me also. He is painting me, he is painting the target also. So he is telling me the target is from my position, the target is at so and so range from you. So with that capability, I don't have to paint the target. If I have a weapon which can cover that range, I can easily engage that target beyond my visual range, beyond my even tracking range. That is known as vectoring, or we call it OTHT, over the horizon targeting. But it's a separate terminology used in the Air Force. But this capability is very important because now we've seen what BVRs can do. In the recent clash, it's all the game of beyond visual, because the missiles which we have, the surface to surface missiles, the anti-ship missiles, they're all wrong ranges. They are beyond visual. So the battle which will happen in the future, even at sea, the ships won't be visual. The aircraft won't be visual. Everything will be beyond visual. So if you have a platform which is covering painting both the range, the launching platform and the target, the force which has this capability, which will have the edge, and all this information. Recently, there was an interview by an Indian general, and he said that the PF used link very effectively, and their electronic warfare was far more advanced than what we expected. So this is the future, actually. All this information is being passed on links.
अच्छा, लिंक 17 का वो जिक्र कर। अच्छा, आप बताएंगे
Whatever.
ये अब तो थोड़ा सा इसको नैरो डाउन करते हैं। अभी जो हुआ है, जो स्क्रिमिश हुई है, इसके अंदर वो आईएसपीआर की जो वो थी प्रेजेंटेशन, उसके अंदर एक नेवल कमोडोर भी थे, मैं उनका नाम भूल रहा हूँ,
Admiral.
एडमिरल थे। उन्होंने प्रेजेंटेशन दी थी, तो उन्होंने थोड़े से वो बताए थे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक, जिसको कहते हैं कि शिप्स कहाँ थे। तो उन्होंने इस बात को, मैं जो उन्होंने बात बोली है मैं उसी को थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंड करना चाहता हूं आपके जरिए, कि वो कह रहे थे कि बिकॉज ऑफ पीएन's प्रेजेंस बोथ सरफेस एंड एरियल, उनके कई शिप्स जो थे वो ये बंबई के पास जो उनका एक वेस्टर्न नेवल हेडक्वार्टर्स है, वहां से वो निकले, थोड़ी देर वो बाहर गए, एंड दे मेड अ यू टर्न एंड दे वेंट साउथ। तो आपके, ये उन्होंने बात नहीं बोली थी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रहा हूं कि आपके तहत व्हाट वाज द थ्रेट दैट दे वर फेसिंग, कि भाई पीछे मुड़ के चले जाओ रादर देन हैव अ फ्रंटल विद पाकिस्तान नेवी। क्या उनको थ्रेट नजर आई थी कि वो दे मेड अ यू टर्न? जरा इसके ऊपर, यानी मुझे पता है कि आप क्लासिफाइड इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं देंगे, लेकिन जो मंडेन बाहर इंफॉर्मेशन है उसके मुताबिक किसी ने कहा था स्मैश मिसाइल की बड़ी वो थी, वो बड़ा ही दहशत
देखिए देखिए हारिस, I am retired. It's been a long time. I'm not privy to any classified information anyhow.
अच्छा।
So whatever I'm saying is just by interest,
हाँ।
general knowledge, because I like to read
जी।
about the Navy and military history, and because I've been retired almost 20 years, so
अच्छा।
I don't have any privy information about the present capabilities. But uh, now it's not 1971 anymore.
जी।
At that time, we lacked, as I already mentioned, we lacked aerial reconnaissance, we lacked ported platforms, and we lacked any coastal defense systems at that time. But now we have everything. We have coastal defense systems, we have a very long-range maritime patrol surveillance system, we have satellite capability, we have ported warships, we have coastal defense missiles, we have a very good, effective submarine fleet, which they don't know where it is. Uh, so, as compared to 71, today is a different scenario. The fleet, which actually what my analysis is, they did not plan any naval engagement.
आप हिंदुस्तानियों की बात कर रहे हैं?
हाँ, मैं हिंदुस्तानियों की बात कर रहा हूँ कि उन्होंने they never planned a naval engagement with the Pakistan Navy.
अच्छा।
This whatever skirmish which they had with the Air Force, uh, you must have noticed that they did not cross the border. All the Indian IAF aircraft remain on their side of the border only,
जी हाँ।
and PF aircraft remain on our side of the border. We engaged them with the long-range PL-15s.
हम्म।
No border were crossed, so it was not an all-out war. It was a local area conflict which remained limited to the air. The Fathehs which were fired later on were a different, were in response to the Brahmos which they fired on our airfields and the drones. So keep coming back to the Navy, I don't think that the Indian Navy posted a threat to the Pakistan Navy as such. They only brought the task group out of Bombay Harbor, and they, I think, remained there for about 24 to 48 hours, and then they moved down south to Karwar. Karwar is their new naval base, which has come up over the last decade, and they normally house their carrier over there because it is far at a longer range than Bombay is, out of our range basically. So they only move their carrier outside just to give an impression to their own public, the Indian audience, that we are also moving our naval task group outside to pose a threat to to Pakistan. So they, a lot of Indian anchors, they were very hyper in the media that we will come from the coast and we will again repeat 1971 and we will fire missiles at the oil tanks in Karachi and we will destroy Karachi. They did destroy it in their own thinking, but it was not going to happen because as compared to 71, we are very, very well prepared. We have long-range reconnaissance. We had 24-hour surveillance. And if they came 200 to 300 nautical miles from our coastline, we would have known. And we have the capability of engaging them at that range. So, and just imagine if a task group comes within range of our weapons and somehow the carrier is destroyed, the whole Indian pride will go down at the bottom of the ocean. They cannot take that risk, and they will never take that risk.
It's probably a Rafael syndrome. एक Rafael क्या
No,
था?
not Rafale syndrome. A carrier going down will be the end of Indian Navy. Psychologically, they will not be able to face the Pakistan Navy again. And I'm sure that our Navy and the Air Force, they have plans to strike carriers and how to strike them and how to sink them. So it's not on paper only. I'm 100% sure that we have the capability, and that's the reason they will never bring in their carrier And the other thing is that they don't need to bring their carrier uh, near the Pakistan coast unless and until they move it somewhere near Chabahar or on the Gulf side, because we have one border. All their airfields are close to the Pakistan. They can come in Pakistan and strike Pakistan easily. So this is my assessment. They never wanted to engage the Navy. They just moved the just to give an impression to their own public that we are pressurizing the Pakistan Navy. Otherwise, they didn't have any plans.
सही, ठीक है, ठीक है। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया राशिद फॉर दिस इनसाइट। तो इंशाल्लाह कमिंग डेज एक और नशिश हो जाएगी, थोड़ा सा फोकस्ड और कर देंगे कि फ्यूचर किस तरह होल्ड कर रहा है। और खासतौर पर मैं चाहता हूं कि अभी तो वक्त खत्म हो रहा है कि मैं चाहता हूं कि ये थोड़ा इंडिया की कैपेबिलिटीज के ऊपर थोड़ी सी ज्यादा बात होगी, और वो जिस तरह क्वाड के डॉक्ट्रिन वगैरह स्ट्रैटेजी के अंदर हैं तो उसके ऊपर बात कर लेंगे इंशाल्लाह। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया राशिद, इंशाल्लाह वक्त का, और आपके फीडबैक का, और आपने जो भी तारीखी बातें की हैं।